First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's fantastic that you've achieved this incredible result, and we're very proud of you, all that you've done in your time here at the school. I'm interested in just trying to get, to the heart of things a little bit about, some of the elements of your studies and how you've done how you've achieved what you've been able to achieve.
I think the most important thing for me was just making the most out of my class time.
Okay.
It was, if I knew that if I smashed out as much as I could during those periods, then I would have less to catch up on, or make sure I had to go over back at home.
Yep.
And then I knew just at home I would just have to manage each subject as well as my leadership stuff and sport, and make sure I had dedicated enough time to each one to make sure I was giving it my best shot.
Was there ever a moment in that time that it became a little bit overwhelming in that space for you?
Oh, for sure. There was some times where, there'd be a night of exhaustion. You'd get back from footy, or you'd, had 2 sacks and you've got another 2 the next day. But I just knew to keep pushing on, and, the next day is all I had to think about, or the day I was in. Because I had so much going on, it also made me a lot more, grateful for the time that I had, and more cautious and more, it made me use my time more wisely, because I knew that it was so precious.
Yeah. And so there were those moments where, things could be overwhelmed. It sounds as if what you're saying there is about you tried to stay in the present and just look at the next thing that you had to do, rather than get overwhelmed by the whole. Is that
yeah,
what
like at times I would definitely look too far ahead, and that was when I would get stressed and start to get a bit anxious and a bit nervous. But in the end, you just got to push past that and realize that you've got one thing to do at a time, and you can't tackle the thing that's happening next week without tackling the thing that's happening tomorrow. So that was the most important thing for me. That's
a really good piece of advice for those who follow you in that space. So you talked a little bit about, but that idea of your support network, because none of us can achieve these things by ourselves. We need people around us. Tell us a little bit about how that worked for you in your studies.
Yeah, so firstly, like, my teachers obviously are very important. They teach me the content first of all, but they also help me when I have questions, and really push me to keep improving myself. And then in the classroom and also outside is just working with peers and pushing each other and challenging each other to go further and correct our mistakes, really work hard together as a common goal. And then, as well as that, of course, my family were very important. My mum and dad were very supportive, and I was always able to talk to them when I had troubles, or I was nervous, or my mind was a bit frazzled. My sister as well, who finished VCA already, she was really good at just helping me and guiding me as well.
I'm really interested in the peers side of things for a minute, because some people underestimate that. Some people say, I've got to do this myself. And so how does that work? How do you build that relationship? How do you gather those people together and work in that space? How did that work for you?
I made sure that I was sitting next to either my mates, or actually they were all my mates, but people who I knew would focus when it was time to focus, but also work together when we could, and also have a bit of fun, because you need a break up. You can't be going for 6 hours straight during the day. So I found it was really good to have friends around me who we could work together, but also challenge each other and also have a good time while doing it.
And what about your relationship with your teachers? You spoke a little bit about that, but in terms of how do you develop that? Because it's a different relationship that you have in Year 12 that you have in other year levels. Can you talk a little bit about what that looks like?
Yeah, once you get to Year 12, teachers become a lot more like friends in a way. They're mentors and they're teachers, but they're on your side, and that all the teachers want you to do well, and it's their intention. And then if you back that up with putting in the effort, they will 100% help you and support you in any way that you require. So whether it be sending emails for help, or asking them to correct work, they're always there for you.
This place, this Whitefriars College that has been your home for the past 6 years, what is it about this place that has supported you in your time here, or that you've connected with at Whitefriars?
For me, it's such a unique and special place. Just the culture and the community focus, and the fact that everyone's got each other's back, and I think the pastoral care system and the house system has played a really important role in mine and pretty much everyone's life at Whitefriars. It's you know, just this trust that you have between your peers and your teachers, and the fact that everyone's around you and everyone supports you is a really special thing. And for me, it just made me, you know, back myself in, and it made me have confidence in myself. I'm really grateful to have been a part of this environment because it means so much to me, and it will continue to be.
It's beautiful, thank you. I'm interested in that, that vertical pastoral structure that we have here. You know, we have our house structure, and you were in your house for 6 years, the great Brandsma house.
That's right.
With Mr. Freeman as your house leader for 6 years, and I think Mr. Gargano for the whole 6 years?
All 6, yep.
Right. Tell me a little bit about those relationships, and maybe particularly with Mr. Gargano, that person that you saw every morning in that pastoral room. How significant was that relationship?
Yeah, it was more just how fun and enjoyable that first 15 minutes was every day, to get started and know that you had, you know, a teacher there who you could trust and talk to about pretty much anything. But then also having, you know, some older boys when I was in year 7 and 8, having older boys who I could talk to and, you know, have a chat with. But also now that I'm older, was having the younger boys who I could talk to and, you know, kind of be a mentor to them. It was just kind of a group and community of, you know, growing men who can, you know, rely and trust on each other and be honest. And then Mr. Gargano has just been someone for me who's just been, he's been like a friend and will continue to be a friend to me forever, I think. Like, the environment that we created in our pastoral was really something special.
He's a pretty enthusiastic fellow.
Yes.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Very good. So, again, obviously Whitefriars, you mentioned some beautiful things about our school, but there's some particular elements of our school. One of the factors is we're a boys' school. So how do you think that has that made any difference at all? Has that made a difference being in an all-boys environment to your studies and to who you are today, I suppose, as a young man?
Yeah, I think it's a huge factor in the lives of Whitefriars boys. I think the way that it's structured is that all our education and our sport and extracurricular is tailored to boys, and, you know, everyone's able to thrive no matter what their passion is, whether it be sports or academics or, you know, in the science lab or on the stage. You know, there's opportunities for everyone. And I think sometimes maybe in co-ed schools, some boys might not go for those things, but since it's an all-boys school, I think a lot more boys feel free and able to kind of choose their own destiny a bit more. And then as well as the fact that there's just a really good spirit and culture that is built amongst the boys at Whitefriars. It's something that's so unique and special, and I'm really grateful for, and I'm sure everyone will look back once they finish year 12 and say, you know, what an honour it was to be a part of that group.
That's beautiful, beautiful words there, Joel. The other part of that too, I suppose, is the Carmelite side of things, where there's a uniqueness about that. We're the only Carmelite school in the Southern Hemisphere. What is it about the Carmelite values that you'll take with you? What will you take from that experience with the Carmelites?
Yeah, I think the Carmelites and their values and ethos is something that really shows true through all Whitefriars boys who pass through the college. It creates that culture that I've been talking about of, you know, honesty and trust and kindness and care and respect. It's something that is so special to Whitefriars, and we see that through the leadership structures. You know, lots of boys who might come out of their shell because of the Carmelite ways that we have at Whitefriars, and it really enables the school to thrive and be who we are. It's so unique and special.
Beautiful, very good. So it's an exciting time that we're in right now, that you've got this, you know, announcement of you being Dux of Whitefriars College for 2023. But life also goes on. We move forward to the next stage of your development as a young man, and it's an exciting time. So what is next for you, Joel? Where are things heading for you in your life and in your studies and all those sorts of things?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'll be going to Melbourne University next year, and I'll be doing a science and engineering pathway. So that's really exciting. And obviously I'll be looking for work soon enough, but I'll hopefully be able to continue doing my sport and stuff outside of academics. And hopefully I'll be able to continue coming back to Whitefriars to see everyone.
You said that science and engineering is the space that you're entering into. What was it that attracted you to that, and was there something that you did here that sort of cemented that idea for you to head down that road?
I think early in years 7, 8 and 9, I grew a really strong passion for maths and science. And then when it come to the senior years and I could choose my own pathway, I was really able to continue doing the things that I enjoyed and I had a passion for. And that kind of led me to realise that science and engineering was kind of the things I would enjoy.
There are a lot of boys who will see this and who will be in awe of what you've achieved and all of the great things that you've done. But they would also be thinking, how did he do that? How has he achieved the things he's achieved? How has he managed to do all these things, to be vice captain of the school, to be involved in all sorts of different programs and sport and all sorts of things and still achieve that well? Do you have a couple of tips that you could give our boys as they aspire to emulate some of the great achievements that you've had here at Whitefriars? Can you think of some of those just little tips of words of wisdom?
Yeah, I would say enjoy every part of the journey and, you know, make sure you take up every opportunity you have at Whitefriars, because there's so many opportunities to be taken, and it really is up to you how much you engage in the community and make the most of the opportunities you have here.
Yep.
And I would also say the VCE journey doesn't really start at year 12. It starts back in years 10, 9, 8, 7. It's a long journey, and if you put the effort in the early years, you set yourself up really well for year 11s and 12. And you know, if you think it's going to happen just in the last year, then you're probably wrong. You gotta set yourself up early and really put in the hard yards during the early years and take it seriously, but also have fun and enjoy it with your mates.
Well, I'm certain that the people who are listening leaned in a little bit closer when you gave those tips, because they're so important. Can I just say, Joel, on behalf of Whitefriars, I want to congratulate you not only on your achievements. I mean, you're getting great VC scores is a wonderful thing, but for me, it's more the man that you've become in our school, supported beautifully by your lovely family, but also by the people around you during that journey. And for me, you have embraced all elements of life at school, and the product we have here before us is what we would describe at Whitefriars as the gentle man of our college, and that's the highest praise that we can give you here. And I just want to say all the best for the future, and don't be a stranger. You've got to come back and visit, because that's what Whitefriars is about. We always say at Whitefriars, once a Whitefriars boy, always a Whitefriars boy.
That's right.
So you will always be welcome back in our school.
Thank you, I appreciate it very much.
Good job.
Cheers.
Well done. See, it's as easy as that. Yeah. That was brilliant.